Shopify how-to. So in this video, we're going to be going through starting a clean Shopify store for your business. So by the end of the video, you'll have a running Shopify store that you can start selling your products. All right, let's start. So one of the first things you're going to need to do, of course, is create a Shopify account. If you don't have one, no worries. You can actually click the link in the description below where you'll be able to come up to this page and enter your email, and then you'll be able to use Shopify for 3 days for free without having to enter your credit card. Or you can enter your credit card, right, and then use Shopify for $1 a month for the next 3 months. So for 3 months, you'll be paying $1 a month. And once you do, right, you can just enter your credit card information and you'll be good to go. So for now, we're gonna skip this because this is my own just demo. And then from here, Shopify is just gonna ask you for onboarding questions, right? Honestly, you don't need to go through this, right? You can do this at a later time, but really you don't need to do this. So we'll just skip. All right, so now we're all set and we officially created our very first Shopify store. All right, and this is the dashboard of where you'll be spending most of your time when you're first setting up your Shopify account. So let's just get started and start creating our Shopify store. So one of the first things we're going to need to do, of course, is add products to our store, right? So we could go ahead and click products. And when you do, right, you'll be welcome to this page called add products, right? Or you can import products as well if you have products made from a different e-commerce company that you used to host your store with, or if you're new, right, then you can add your product right here. Now let's say you don't have a product to sell, right? Then no worries. You could use the DSRE link below, right? Which is if I go back here to my apps and then view app store here, explore apps, close this, go back to products. So you can use this free app that you can install if you don't have products to sell yet, right? But you want to start selling Shopify. It's connected to AliExpress and Alibaba, so that means you'll have millions and millions of products that you can start to sell, right, inside your Shopify store, which is fantastic, right? Because you don't need to own this inventory, right? You could just connect it for free, which is easy to connect, right? And yeah, you could I'll have the link in the description below so you guys can get started. All right, so for this video, we're gonna add a product, right? And we're gonna call this one white basic man's t-shirt, right? And if you noticed, right, I didn't just write t-shirt or man's t-shirt, right? I went a little bit much more descriptive, right? So white basic man's t-shirt, right? That just is going to help you for SEO in the future, right? So you might want to do that at an early start, right? Just write good titles and good descriptions, right, for your product, right? Oops. And then here, made from cotton. All right, awesome. So this is pretty good. Right now, we're gonna add media. So this means we're just gonna add screenshots of our product, right? Upload. We're gonna go to products, and we're gonna find the white. Oopsies. Let's see. There we go. And it should be uploaded. There we go. So now we have our first official t-shirt, right? Now we're gonna add prices to it, right? So let's pretend this is a high-end store, right? It used to be $45, and we have about maybe 5 more in stock. Shipping we could leave as is as for now, right? Variants, this is pretty simple. We're gonna just add size. Oops. Media and extra large. There we go. Click done, and we're good. Just leave it. And you don't really need to worry about the search engine listing, right? Because Shopify already handles this on their own, right? They're just using the title, right, that you entered and the description that you entered as well, and they handle the URL handle to make sure it's clean. So white basic man's t-shirt, right? So we're gonna save it as is. And once you do that, you should receive a congratulations message, right? There you go, that we've added our very first product to your Shopify store. So next, we're going to add one more product, and this is because we're going to need to show you another thing. But before we do, I do almost forget to make sure you confirm your publishing to which channels you want, right? So let's pretend that I only want it for my online store and I don't want to sell in person, or I don't want my product to show up on shop, right? Then you can do that as well and just click done. So now let's go back to products, right? And we're gonna add one more product. We're gonna call this one Black man's t-shirt, right? Again, it's gonna be cotton, right? And as you can see, I'm just using AI to help me with the description, right? Usually AI does a pretty good job with writing the description, since Sidekick has so much information from other merchant stores that Shopify is relying on, right, to provide you that great experience. And now, sometimes Shopify does have a little glitch where it doesn't want to work properly. So now we're just uploading the picture, right? While we do that, we're just gonna add another price. And we're gonna add, excuse me. And we're gonna add size, and we're gonna just choose the common ones here. And then we have here is perfectly right, black men's t-shirt, right? And then we're gonna confirm that the URL handle is good. Yeah, the URL handle is clean, so we're good. Publish, remove there. Now you don't have to turn this off and on, right? This is just my preference, right? If you don't want your product to show up on shop, right, then you can just control that right there and just click save. So now we added our two products to our store. Now we have a white t-shirt and a black t-shirt, right? So now the next thing we're gonna do is create a collection. So a collection just makes it really, really easy for your customers to locate certain items in your store, right? So since I am starting a clothing store here, right, we're gonna create a t-shirt collections, right? Men's t-shirts. Men's t-shirt, men's t-shirt summer collection, right? Let's see if we can add, okay, we cannot use the AI here. And summer collection description. Right, so now here we can add products that we want for this collection to show up, right? So since we already added our products, we're gonna just select these two. And there we go. We just create our very first collection right here, right? You can add more things, right? You could manage where you want the products to be shown. Images, if you need to add any images as well. Right, I'm just gonna review this collection here, and it looks good. So we're gonna just click save. And there we go. We created just like that a collection for our Shopify store. So one of the next things after we did that, right, we're gonna need to go ahead and design our very first Shopify store. So by doing that, you could click on online store. And now with an online store, this is where the theme page is. So the theme page pretty much is where you can control how your store is going to look like. Right, so by default right now Shopify gives you Horizon. This is the default theme that you can use, right? Or you can use Discover themes, right? So you can either use the AI theme that Shopify provides you here, that they use AI to create these themes, right? Or you can use other Shopify themes as well, right? You can use free themes by Shopify by visiting the theme store here, right? And if you click free, right, then you can select the Shopify. All these themes are free that you can use from Shopify, right? You can also use third-party themes, right, like paid themes here, right, which are fantastic for depending on your product, right? So if I was selling clothing, right, then maybe this one right here looks like a really good one for me, right, that I might want to use. Now there is a important tip that you might want to know, since I used to work at Shopify support, right, is that if you reach out to Shopify support, right, and you are using a third-party theme, they might not be able to help you that much if there's a theme issue, right? so they're first going to confirm, right, if it's a theme issue or not, right? If it is a theme issue, you will need to reach out to the theme developer of these themes, right? Which is very simple to do inside of the Shopify editor, right? But if it's a free theme they're using by Shopify, Shopify will handle it. So for this video, we're gonna use the Spotlight theme since I do like the minimalistic style, right? You could click on it and you can actually view demo before you even install the theme, or if you want to buy a theme, right? You can just quickly see how it looks and feels, right? And if it's something that really you like, right? So since I really like this one, right, we're gonna just add it to my store. So we're gonna just try theme, and now it's adding it to the store. So if we exit this here and we continue here, right, we can see that it's now being under draft themes. So what draft themes is that this is where you'll be able to control and make any changes you want without affecting the main theme. So as you can see, Horizon right now is the main theme, and Spotlight right now is under draft. So that means I can make any changes I want to this theme and it will not affect the main theme. But if I click publish now, you'll get a warning, we'll replace it. Right, so now Spotlight's the main theme. So any change I make to Horizon here will not affect this. But if I make changes here and save, it will affect the changes here. Right, so once we've done that, right, we're gonna go ahead and click on edit theme. So it might look a little bit scary, right, the theme editor, but it's actually very simple to use. And that's why I kind of chose this theme Spotlight, right, because it's just an easier theme to navigate with, right? So you could just click on certain sections. So like, let's say we want to click the footer. So now you have the option here to, you know, turn on certain things, right? You can go ahead and like turn on social media icons if you want, right, as well. You can, you know, have a lot of control in regard to your store, right? So again, if you select a different section, so the feature collection, right, here is where you'll be able to again customize everything here depending on your theme that you chose, right? And again, we select a header, we can move this around, right? So we have the maybe the menu type, select the main menu, right? Maybe we want the main menu there, right? But now we want it to be a drawer, right? So we'll just keep it more clean, as you can see here. And so that's how we do it. So then when you click on it, now you have the products page, right? So here's where you'll be able to make any changes you want to your products page, right? And see just how it looks, right? So as you can see, when I chose the variants, right, I checked it here so that I can have small, medium, large, right? So customers can select either a large t-shirt or a medium t-shirt, right? Small t-shirt, right? Colors only black, right? And then description, right? Super simple, easy to do. And yeah, so that's how you navigate through the theme editor, right? It's very simple again, and it doesn't take that much of your time, right? Again, you can make changes to it. So like, since this is a minimalistic theme, right, and I kind of like it like this, right? But you can make changes where you could go to theme setting, right, and add a logo if you need to, right? So if I want to explore fleet images, maybe I could find a t-shirt logo here. I guess this one might work. Click select and a logo should show up on the top left there, and there you go, right? So of course it's not a good logo, but just for example right there. And then you could change the colors as well. I'm gonna leave it as is. You could change the typography of your whole store as well from here, right? So you have a lot of customization all from here that you can make as well. So we're gonna just click save, and we're gonna just exit for now, right? So let's say we're happy with our theme design, right? So now we're gonna need to add pages, which is really important. We're gonna add important pages that we need to our stores. So we click on pages here on the left, click on add page, and we're gonna add 2 pages. We're gonna add the about us, all right? I need you to write one paragraph about us page. My store sells t-shirts for men, right? So we can use Sidekick, right, to help us create this about us page, right? Make sure you click this to the visibility to visible, right, and save. So we just added it. So now I'm going to add one more page, and we're going to call this the frequently asked questions page. Okay, and then I need you to write common questions and answers that customers might. Alright, and then of course you could just use so honestly, yeah, like, you know, you could do like do you accept returns? We'll just have this one for example, right? Yes, we do for 30 days. Okay, so there we go, visible, right? So there we go, we added a frequently asked questions, right? And we have an about us page now that we can have. So to make sure that we can add these pages to our store, you're going to want to go to content, and inside of content you're going to want to click on menus. Then you're going to want to select either if you want it to show up under main menu or footer menu. Of course, for these pages you want to select main menu, and then from here it's very simple. You just click on add menu item, and write about us, pages, about us, and then another one for frequently asked questions, pages, frequently asked, save. So now if we go back to the theme, we should have 2 pages added now, right? So if we click on preview theme, we click on the hamburger icon here, we'll have the contact us, right? We have the about us, the new page that we have, right? And then we have the frequently asked questions here, right? So very simple and easy to add pages into your Shopify store. All right, so now that we've done that, right, you want to go ahead now and make sure you review your markets page. So your markets page is a place where you control where you want, which markets you want customers from to shop for your store, right? So right now by default, I only have Canada, right? That means that only Canadians that find my store will be able to purchase my items. But let's say, right, a customer from the US finds my store and they want to add something to cart. Well, they will not be able to add that item to cart because I don't have the US market set up. But if I select create United States market and I review this, right, everything is good, right? Now, since it's active, United States customers can now add the item to cart and purchase without any issues. So this is something that you'll want to review with your team, right? Just to make sure which markets you want to sell your products in. All right, so the next thing we're gonna need to do, right, is add applications to our store, right? So once you've installed these apps, right, you might want to take a look at other Shopify apps, right, that you might want to use. So one of them I recommend is not in the App Store, but it's actually called Shopify Spy. So Shopify Spy, if I can find my notes here, Shopify Spy, there we go. So this app is really, really good. So if you're starting out in Shopify, right, like today from your store, right, you can actually see what themes, what apps, what top products are selling in those Shopify stores, right? Very easily without having to, do a lot of the work, right? So it does everything for you. So highly recommend you check these apps out. Again, I'll have the link to this app in the description below so that you can go and download it for free. So the other apps I recommend, right, is you download Shopify messaging, and we download Shopify Flow and Shopify Inbox. So let's go ahead and install some of these apps. So let's install the Shopify Inbox. So we click install. So Shopify Inbox allows you to have a live chat feature inside of your store, right? So we're gonna turn on chat. And as you can see here on the bottom right, we have a chat feature now, right? And this confirms that we have it on, right? And that it's working. So we're gonna click save. All right, so now it's saved. So now we go back to inbox. It should be turned on now, right? And now here we can go to manage settings and add custom questions and answers that customers might have before purchasing, right? So what's your return policy, right? And then here we can have like, we have a 30-day window return policy, right? And then we just click save. So now when customers, and turn on, right? So now when customers reach out, right, and they select what is your return policy, right, an automation will fire out, which will send them that message, right? And this again is just a great way to answer quick questions that customers might have, right? And then customers can write a message to you, right? And then you can reply back to them as well, right? So this is an app that you might want to have inside your store as well. The next app, of course, is, it'll be exit here, right, is Shopify Flow and Shopify Messaging. These two apps make the perfect combo. So Shopify Flow is an automation app, right, that you can download that comes with a ton of automations for your store, right? So if we check it out right now, so we added it now, right? Oh, okay, because I'm on trial, right, it's not gonna work, right, which is no problem, right? So there's a ton of flows and automation that you can create. So let's say that you wanna send an automation when a customer does not complete their checkout, right? Then Shopify Flow actually has the abandoned cart checkout flow that you can set up perfectly, right? And with Shopify Messaging, of course, you download these two apps, right? And once you do, right, you can turn this on and then create the emails that you need to send. So like when somebody doesn't check out, right, you can fire out an email to make sure that you can send that. It tells the customer, hey, you forgot to check out, here's an extra $2 off, let's say, right? Or when a customer completes a purchase, right, and you want to follow up and see how they like their product, right? You can send it a week later, right? Like Gymshark does this to me, right? So when I buy something from Gymshark, right, 1 week later they send me an email saying like, hey, how do you like it? What's something we could do better? Do you want to leave a review, etc., right? So they're probably using Shopify Flow and Shopify Messaging as well, right? So these are just 3 apps that you might want to download at the start. Well, 4 with Koala Inspector, right, for Shopify Spy. So once you've downloaded those applications, right, we're going to need to go to settings. So you want to go and make sure you go to Shopify payments. So your payment section, right, is really important to set up at the start. So this is where you'll be able to start accepting payments from customers and they'll be able to check out. So if you live in a country that supports Shopify payments, right, then you will need to use Shopify payments as your main gateway payment provider, right? But let's say you get suspended by Shopify payments, then you can use, let's say, your own Stripe account if you want. Right? And then we have additional payment methods. Additional payment methods, right, is just a great way to provide extra ways for your customers to purchase your items, right? So you might want to have PayPal turned on, right, so that customers can again check out using PayPal. So once you've completed that, right, you're going to want to go into shipping and delivery next. So this is where you'll be able to customize your shipping and delivery by clicking on general profile. And then from here, you'll be able to locate, right, which products, like the shipping costs and everything, right, of where they're being shipped to, right? So like right now, as you saw in the markets, right, since I added the United States market, right, I can ship. Customers can buy and they'll receive the item, right? Canada as well, right? But if another customer from a different country tries to buy something, they won't be able to check out because I don't have this set up properly. So here's where you'll be able to set up your shipment rates and everything that you need to do. And I highly recommend you review this, right? Because if you don't have this set up properly, customer will not be able to check out, right? And you don't want that. And then the next and last thing, right, is you're gonna want to look at your domains, right? So here's where you'll be able to add a domain, right? So if you have an existing domain, right, you could select connect existing, enter the domain name, and just do the DNS connection as well. Or you could buy a new domain from Shopify within. It's a little bit more expensive, but highly recommend you use Hostinger, right? I have the link here, right? And so to buy your domain is a lot more cheaper than buying from Shopify as well. I'll have the link in the description below, so you guys go check it out as well. So once you've done that, right, it just looks a little bit much more professional, your Shopify store with a custom domain, instead of having this in the domain what customers will see, right? And they might think it's not a real store or something, right? And so that's pretty much it on how you can start a Shopify store within Shopify. If you have any questions that you have, right, comment down below, and again, I'll be happy to answer them. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.